So 8:30 is what time the market opens here. So we've seen this massive drop in price. Okay, so looking at a little bit of context, let's just say that this is high. And let's see when the last time we retested this level over here. Well, obviously we've broken through a few different swing points as we've come along. Okay, so we've broken through those in this big dramatic move, and that's all well and good. Okay, so I'm not seeing the last time I was here because for some reason my chart's acting all funny like and making the bars disappear. But we're just going to go into today knowing that this up here is high, and let's see, right before the open we have this area as being low. Okay, we're just going to do some bar by bar analysis here, and notice that we've bounced twice on this level, or I'm sorry, we've already bounced on this level. So this is the money bounce. If we go into the APA theory of zones, like this is the money bounce, and we've come up. We haven't surpassed this level right up here, which this is like a nice little consolidation area right in there. We have not beaten that level. Okay, so a little bit of resistance is what we're seeing coming into the open. Excuse me, and we're kind of back in that level. Looking at that, we realize that we've bounced off of this level up here, okay, just to set the stage for what we're looking at. To me, because we've bounced here and we've come back down, we've kind of retested the previous high right in this area. I'm looking for it to see if it breaks the top up here. That's what I'm looking for this to push back up higher, just because I think we've bounced off of this level. Okay, so let's see what happens. We come down. Okay, that's fine. We've kind of had this big massive move down, and if I was going to draw a trend line, I like to draw a trend line from this high down here. Okay, and the reason why I like to draw it here is because we've actually made a new low, and it's a consecutive higher low right here. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. And so that is what we're looking at there. All right, and we've kind of broken that trend line, so I don't really feel like that trend line's in play anymore. We still do have this area right in here that we are identifying as consolidation. Okay, and I'm just going to extend this over to the right just to give you kind of an idea of context with me. Okay, so I'm looking to see how the low is, but I'm thinking that the high can be taken out. Okay, so bar by bar, notice these big wicks down here. Like this candle here is it's a hammer candle. If you guys are familiar with the price bars from the price action school, hammer candle, and then golfing bar, green engulfing bar up here. So this is kind of like what I'm waiting for the retest of this level up there. Okay, and it comes back up, and now we've kind of had almost an inside green bar here, and this red bar is definitely an inside bar. So what that red bar tells me is that it's starting to get consolidated, and we're at an area of resistance. We're not at an area of support. So now I'm looking to see if the price won't come back down from this red bar right there. Okay, and let's see what happens next. Another red bar. Wiki on the tops, we're in resistance, and it's a little wicky right here, but it's not extremely wicky by any stretch of the means. Okay. Big red bar down. Kind of saw that one happening, but now we're getting into this like little range thing. It feels like we're not able to break the high, and we're retesting just this little bit of support that we've found right here. So we'll see what happens. But this low is particularly interesting to me. Now, if I was going to short this, to me, there isn't a setup to short right here on these candles. Just the way that I like to do things, in the confirmation way that I like to do it. A confirmation entry would be basically going low or going short below this green candle's low. Okay, and I want this to happen with momentum. I want it to happen with force. When two candles don't take out that green candle, that's not a whole lot of force to me. Like I don't feel like momentum's coming in. Now, obviously, this big green or big red candle here is a little bit more forceful. But technically speaking, if I just took it above this green candle, down to where I see support, it's a little inverted right here, so that's not a good way to go. I don't advise that. It's basically a no trade for me. Okay, so it comes down there. It's not breaking the low right now, so we'll see what happens. It might pop back up here, but I'm feeling it like kind of consolidate right now. Like maybe we're in some type of wedge or something. We got a wick right here retesting the highs. This isn't a short signal, even though that this is a shooting star, not a short signal. I'm just going to do technicalities right now, just because I don't know if everybody's tracking with me or not. But hopefully this makes sense. If this was a potential short, this is a shooting star candle. You could take it one tick short or one tick below the low. Again, we've had a retest of this little support level, so we would want to think that that would be taken out pretty easily. So I'd be aiming like maybe one tick above the red candle's low, but my stop would have to be right up here. Okay? And now I'm just reading price action, and the zones go into this very, very nicely, but I'm just wanting to talk about targets and stops and that kind of thing today. Reading price action bar by bar. Okay. The zone theory is all based upon this type of analysis. This is what I did to create the zones, and I just want to walk us through that. Okay. And really, not only just to create the zones, but all the software that's included in the packages. So now we have a new candle, a new green candle. Its high is a little bit higher than that, so we can't take it short there anymore because we've just made a new high. So we got to figure out what to do with this. Any ideas on, do you think we should be moving this up here, or do you think we should completely take off the idea of a short? It sure seems like with this big a move and it taking out these previous lows over here, that the short side could be a very good possibility. But for me right now, this is kind of in the middle of the range. I would like to see the high get taken out here, but if it doesn't, that's like an event. That's like a price action event, okay? We want to beware of that event if that does not happen, okay? Or if it happens or if it does not happen, we want to take advantage of that. Okay, so moving on here. Oh, an inside candle. That represents some exhaustion. But nothing on either side per se. Another inside candle. Okay, so maybe we are finding resistance up here, It is coming into the first 15 minutes of the day. If I look down in here at my time, this is coming into the first 15 minutes. So I know that we're at resistance, thinking it could fail to do it, but yet I don't know. We've spent a lot of time in this gray zone of where we've identified as high, a relative high, and I'm just going to copy this and paste it, and that's relative high, and this down here would be relatively low. Okay. Okay, but now we have an inside. We've had some inside candles. Price is getting consolidated. Oh, a doji. That's another sign that price is really getting consolidated. I'm thinking price is going to break out right now. One way or another, price is going to be breaking out here soon. Since it's pushing in all these green candles that are inside of each other, this could be an opportunity for the shorts, you know. So where do you take the short at? Well, below the doji is where I would be wanting to take the short. That would be a possibility. Looks like we have about 9 ticks below the doji. Oh, but we made a new high. All right, well, forget that idea. Since we made the new high, the short's out. Was there any way that I could have gotten long out of this? No. I don't see the long play at all. I'm only going to put one ruler on our chart here. This is the best retest so far of this high up here. Okay, so doji represents exhaustion. All this stuff represents exhaustion, kind of consolidation. We've peaked up here. Are we going to break this high or not? That is the question. And if we don't, then it's time to look short. But if we do, you know, unfortunately I don't see a place of getting in. Now, this red candle is retesting all this little consolidation that we just were talking about here. So I'm just going to highlight that just a little bit. We haven't broke the high. So to take this long out of here, well, this is a pretty aggressive long, considering we know that this area is all resistance up in here. To the short side, I kind of want to see it break below this, to be quite honest, just because I know that this is a little bit of support that is formed right here. We have made a new high, so that's in play on this candle. And right now, as far as risk to reward goes, even though this is an engulfing candle, I have 12 ticks of risk, which is quite a bit of risk. I could call it a trend follow to the downside at this point, but if I'm calling it a trend follow to the downside, I want to make sure that I have 12 ticks of profit before I'm going to be retesting major supports. Okay, and in this case it turns out to be about a 1-to-1 ratio, which in my book that's okay. But this is more of a confirmation to the short. However, the only thing preventing me from really liking this is that you just have a bigger amount of risk on this one. Okay, but it's happening at our 15-minute time of day. It's retesting the high. We know where low is. We know where high is. It's a good short. You would have to be taking this in some type of trend follow way, just because, you know, we've had this big move in the Globex session, and we've broken the previous lows. And so if I was going to do that, I'd be talking somewhere right around a 1-to-1 to the target, and then T2 would be down here at basically the bottom of the range. Okay, so that's what I'd be looking for the short. Now for the long, I would want to see a green candle happen above that would like engulf this candle here, but I don't really feel comfortable about going long until this zone is taken out and price goes above it. There's a green candle. It is retesting this area here. I don't feel like it's a really good area to be taken along from, because it's kind of right in the middle of resistance. So you don't really want to buy in resistance, so that's kind of a silly thing to do. Yes, it is an engulfing candle. What's our risk to reward on this? I would say your reward is about 8 ticks if you were to get long right above that point, which that's very, very aggressive. And you're risking about 9 ticks. So that's pretty aggressive, and I want to be taking my target 1 tick below where these 2 candles opens and closes are, just because I realize that that could be support or could be resistance. So I want to be aware of that, and then a possible T2 would be either the top of this level or possibly up in there. Okay, so personally, right now I'm feeling much more of the short, but we'll see what happens. Okay, red candle down, that's okay. That kind of goes along with the short. Now, if you are short here, we haven't seen, usually when I see a double bar or a single bar in golf, I like to see momentum come through in the next like 3 or 4 bars, and the big order flow, the big players, the big market movers really say that, hey, you know what, I'm going to defend my position and I'm going to push this market in that direction. I haven't seen it to this point yet. So let's say that we've been in this short position for 3 bars now. If it doesn't hurry up and get down here, personally speaking, I would think about cutting it, because I'm probably not in the area that I think I'm in, and it's not going to do what I think it's going to do. But a short play is the only play that I see right now at the first 15 minutes, and we'll see what happens here. Okay, well that gives me a little bit more confirmation to the short side just because it beat this low. So feeling a little bit better, but I need another big red candle down. Otherwise, this thing could bounce here easily and then go up. Okay, so there's those 12 ticks, and that would be a good sign to me. Yes, we have a little bit of space before we break down this low, but again, it could pop up here pretty easily if it doesn't push through this light blue line here pretty rapidly. Okay, so that happened. That's a good sign. New low on that candle. New low on this green candle. Even though it's a green candle, it is a new low, so that's a good sign of continuation to the downside. Maybe a slight pop back up just to retest this previous support level, becoming resistance. Always be mindful of the flip-flop somewhere in this region. Doji candle, inside candle, doji candle, new low, but it's a wiki new low, so we're definitely testing this low again here. And this has done the flip-flop, so I'm just going to move this over here. I'm looking for it to kind of stay below this red candle's, or excuse me, this green candle right here. That's what I'm looking for, if this thing is really going to continue on. Okay, it's doing that. Still coming along here, and but it's really slow in doing this move. But so far, if we take a look at it in context, okay, and I think that's really important, and we can get context just from scaling out or looking at a bigger time frame. What we see here happening is we've had a push down, we've broken previous lows, we've had a push back up to this area of consolidation. It's failed to break it, and now we're getting the retest of the lows. Okay, so if this is just a retest here, I expect us to make a new low, because this is going to be basically just a leg of a retracement. This is just a retracement up here. That's all that's going on. All right. So, but if it doesn't break the low, then we could have kind of a range thing going on. And let's see what happens. Again, I wanted to maybe bounce off this level at max, but I need a new low coming in here shortly. Oh, and there it is. There's the new low. That gives us, or that gives me a good indication that that is actually what is going on here. And we've kind of confirmed a trend. Now, if you didn't take this, which, there's a lot of chop in here, so it was pretty indecisive here for a while. So now that we have a new low and like a little close below it, I would be okay with it popping up here, but I still want it to continue to the downside. So I'm okay with it popping up to these previous levels of consolidation, but this would be a good shorting opportunity for me. Okay.